Understanding and implication. What is an implication? The way I think about implication is considering it as a promise. Say we have a statement: if you get a perfect score in finals, then you'll get an A. So, considering this statement, you get perfect score in finals, is true, then when you look at your grade, you got an A. It's also true. Therefore, the whole statement is true. Simple enough. If, however, initially you got a false, that means if you get perfect score in finals, then you had a false as well. You did not get, or your grade is not A. Then the promise still holds to be true. After all, you did not get the perfect score. Then, as a consequence, you did not get the A. So, another scenario will be in the first statement. If this is false, and in the second statement it's true. So what happened to the promise? Initially you did not get a perfect score, but still you got an A. So the promise is still true. And why is that? Because considering the implication is a one-directional statement. Like if the first statement is P, it implies Q. So considering you get a perfect score in finals, it implies that Q, you'll get an A. However, that does not mean that you'll get an A if and only if you get a perfect score in finals, in which case that will no longer be an implication. In that case, it will become a biconditional statement. So that's basically the simple explanation of an implication. The only way to make this false is if the first statement will be true, you get a perfect score in finals, and then after that you get a false, you did not get an A. Therefore, the promise became false. That's the only case where an implication is false. With that, we can define now the implication, which asserts that if the antecedent is true, that is the P, then its consequent is also true, Q. And we usually write that P implying Q. We should contrast this, however, to the statement that is, if the consequent is true, then the antecedent is also true. So this basically is not equal to Q implying P. So for its truth table, we have P, Q. So false, false, for example. In that case, you will get the implication is still true, because the promise cannot be falsified, because after all, the consequent is false. So false implying true, you will still get true. So clearly, when you have here a false antecedent, then automatically the output of the implication is truth. Okay, then you have the only case where it's false is true followed by a falsehood. In that case, it's false. And we have finally true followed by truth. In that case, the output is true. So you might have noticed as well that if Q, the consequent, is true, then the implication is also true. That's it.